I like trains. I've always liked trains. That's not unusual. A lot of people like trains on some level. But one day, I don't know when, I went up a level. I think one day I may have said it out loud. I like trains. That's probably the point at which I became what is called a railfan. Think of magic words uttered innocently, but when spoken aloud, open a portal to a previously hidden room. I just strolled in and felt at home. I live in Brainerd, which for 100 years was a company town. The company was the Northern Pacific Railway. If you like trains, it's a good place to be. The NP was a significant transcontinental railroad, and at one time the company headquarters were here. There were extensive shops and offices for a century. Now the BNSF Railway just zooms through town, hauling dead dinosaurs, coal, from the west to the east, where they incinerate it and release it into the sky to bake our planet. In 2015, I was at the most excellent Lake Superior Railroad Museum in Duluth. I was looking for the DVD on the history of the Northern Pacific, but they didn't have it in stock. They checked their suppliers and didn't find it. Turns out it doesn't exist. Or it didn't. I'm a videographer and filmmaker, so when I retired, I approached my former employer, Lakeland PBS, proposing production. They were enthusiastic, and I was funded through a grant from the state of Minnesota's Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. The video's now complete. Main Street of the Northwest, the story of the Northern Pacific, is available to watch for free on the Lakeland PBS website. Researching and producing a 90-minute PBS documentary brought me up another railfan level. I'm clearly one of them. Research brought me to the Northern Pacific Railway Historical Association. They were an integral part of the program. Not only did I find knowledgeable experts, but photographs and other media along with many, many stories. I joined the NPRHA, and now I'm up another level of rail fandom. Yes, there are levels of train enthusiasts and rail fans. I've found there are 6 levels, from a -1 to a +4. The -1 are people who hate trains. They're noisy, they block traffic. My sister is a -1. She lived in Fargo and complained about the trains. She wondered, why did they run the tracks through the middle of town? Well, she has a master's degree in English, not history. There's a 0. I don't know that I've ever met a 0, but I'm sure they're out there. Most people will be a 1. Think of the dad who's driving and points out a train to the kids in the back seat. Hey, look, kids, a train. And the 2s, these are people who are maybe even happy enough to wait for a train at a crossing, and they might even roll down the window to hear the horn. I'm a level 3. I like trains and will travel to railfan sites to watch the trains for several hours. 3s will shoot photos and videos and share the media online. I've traveled to Rochelle, Galesburg, Fort Madison, and Tehachapi to watch trains. I plan on visiting the Horseshoe. If you don't know those names, you're not a 3. Level 4 are the serious rail fans. They're known as the frothers or foamers, people who are foaming at the mouth over anything train-related. Now, these are not derogatory terms. 4s will use them to describe themselves. Yeah, I'm a foamer. My dad was a frother. They carry radios to listen to train communications and can easily identify the make and model of all locomotives. A Level 4 railfan will date a photograph of a boxcar, for example, by noting the gauge of the metal in the air hose coupling changed in 1922. A true Level 4 railfan will know with absolute certainty that I just made that up. I don't know anything about air hose couplings. Recently, my wife and I embarked on the Great American Road Trip. The drive down the Mississippi Valley south of Red Wing is truly one of the best drives in the U.S., if not the world. Plus, it takes us to near some great railfan sites, places to watch trains. The Union Pacific and BNSF have double-track main lines that cross in a double diamond at Rochelle, Illinois. So many people come to Rochelle, they built Railfan Park where the tracks cross. To the south is Galesburg, Illinois. Galesburg has several fine places to watch trains. At one park, one of the double-track main lines passes over the other, so if you're lucky, you can see 2 or even 3 trains at once. But Fort Madison, Iowa is, I think, the best. A wonderful, beautiful park along the Mississippi River and a train every few minutes. Plus, they have the longest and oldest double-level bridge over the river. Trains below, autos above. When we were in Galesburg, my wife heard a train horn in the distance. "There's a train coming," she announced. "It's an Amtrak," I said, and a minute later, sure enough, here came a southbound Amtrak. "Well, how did you know it was an Amtrak?" she wondered. "By the horn. Amtrak horns are different." "You're a level 4, she proclaimed. "No, I'm still a 3. Knowing the sound of an Amtrak horn is a level 3 railfan. Now, if you know the manufacturer of Amtrak horns, you're a level 4. After consulting the great Google, I learned that the Amtrak horn is manufactured by Nathan and is a model K5LA. And there you go, I'm up to level 4. Amtrak wanted a more friendly tone, so it is unique to Amtrak. The horn plays a B major 6th chord with notes D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, B, and another D sharp 1 octave higher. By the way, there are several manufacturers of train horns in the U.S. The largest are Leslie, Airchime, and Nathan. And it all started with me admitting out loud, I like trains.